Newsfirst, Newsline with Faraz Shaukatali.
And a wonderful morning to you. This is Newsline, live as always from the Newsfirst studios in Dawson Street in Colombo. And we've got that wonderful politician, vociferous critique of several matters of good governance, so on, Azath Salley with us. But this morning also the news is, well, we had it about 8 hours ago, and that is that the leader of Ethiopia, the Ethiopian Prime Minister Haile Mariam Desalegn, has resigned unexpectedly, saying he hoped to end years of unrest and political upheaval. And a little bit further up, we have the Israeli Prime Minister also in a bit of hot water and amidst great calls for his resignation, and article in the Guardian newspaper suggesting that his shamelessness is corrupting Israel. To discuss all these matters, because there is obviously a local connection too, is, as I said, Mr. Azath Salley. Very good morning to you, Mr. Salley.
Very good morning for us.
Thank you very much for coming here.
Thank you for inviting.
You were beaten by beauty then. Rosie, but obviously Rosie is much prettier than you.
Exactly. Colombo has been always that.
Yes.
Right, but we gave a good fight. And
even if you say so yourself.
no, not say it yourself,
But there's a big margin between Rosie and...
Reality has to be accepted for us.
Will you join her in helping her?
How I see this whole thing is that the UPFA, if you take island-wide, the UPFA has performed very, very well. If the UNP is trying to say that we lost, but you also have lost, is not the question. Because don't forget that the SLPP is a breakaway group of the UPFA. There are 54 MPs sitting there, and they contest as a different party, and the UPFA and the SLP contest separately. If you put both these votes together, they have gained much better vote, and if it is a presidential election also, whoever the presidential candidate is, they have won the election, if you take it that way. But if you take the United National Party, since 1947 for us, this party has been having at every election, only in 1977 that they get a clear mandate of 51% during G.R. Jawaharlal's period. After that, the party has been deteriorating, and today it has come down to 32% only. Right? So you can see, except for Colombo, all the other areas, they have been defeated so badly. So that is the situation. And when coming to the question of the two prime ministers, one is in a state of shock, he might resign any moment, the pressure that he brought on Netanyahu, and also the Ethiopian Prime Minister who has already resigned. You would have seen about 10 days ago a minister coming into the House of Commons, and only because he got late to come and answer the question, he tendered his resignation.
Yes, and there was grave shock, and his resignation was not accepted.
Not accepted, and everybody in the House itself.
The man was...
He was so clean.
He was man enough.
To say that at least. Not that he was going, but at least he had...
But I think he probably had every intention.
And when he said it itself, the House did not accept it. He said, no, and they shouted. So here it's not a question of anybody shouting and telling don't go.
But here
they want a set of fellows to go.
Yes.
If the UNP has to be revamped, it's okay. They can say it's the UNPS who has to decide. That's a different story. But the scenario is this, that from the beginning, after Mr. Vikramasinghe became the leader of the UNP, the scenario had always been the Friends of Royal College gets together and they ruin this man. Now, for instance, if you take, what is the downfall? The downfall is each person who was given ministries of this Royal College clan have not performed their duties well, because they were working in connivance with the Rajapaksa family.
Who's saying that?
I mean, openly the whole country knows. That is why Sagar Ratnayake is putting a post in his Facebook that if in the greater interest of the party, if he has to sacrifice his post, he is ready for it. It's not a question of his sacrificing, But the 3 years.
But at least we must take that on board. His good intentions.
It's not a question of board, because that is where the problem started. They had a big argument at Mangala's house when Rajitha and all these people met, and they accused Sagala for not doing his job and always protecting these people. What did they say? What did the Prime Minister say? Yeah, if that is the case, because he wants to be the Prime Minister, only to safeguard his position, he said, yeah, Rajitha, no problem. You just go ahead and do what has to be done to protect this government. I will be there. But if you want a change, like Sagala and any other ministries, I am prepared to do that also.
Yeah.
So that is the sacrifice that he gave. Now my question is, now 3 years have gone and these people could not deliver. If you take the UNP as a whole, because they took the police into their hands, they took justice into their hand, they took the Attorney General into their hand. What did they do? Now, what is the pledge that we gave the country is that all these rogues will be taken into custody.
Yeah.
Did it happen? No. If you take your good friend Lasantha, my good friend Lasantha, what happened? They made use of his funeral. What happened to Tajuddin's murder? All that was made use. What now? Now at least President had the audacity to go and appoint 2 commissions. One commission is the War Commission. He did his job. Then the findings of that commission, people have been taken into custody.
Yeah, very good too.
Yeah. Second commission is 34 big time robberies that took place in the country.
But nothing's been done about it.
No, that's what I'm saying. Nothing. And today it has been given to the Attorney General and the Bribery Commission to file suit. Now, you would have seen about 2 or 2.5 months ago, when they wanted Gamini Senrath to be arrested, man was not there. He was awaiting. Rajitha himself is the man who accused Sagala for keeping him in his residence.
A point that Sagala Ratnakar has consistently denied.
Which he has completely denied.
Yeah.
But the fact remains that, and they went to almost all the courts. Now even if you take Ananda Samarasekara, who was the GMO at that time, who really lost almost all the spare parts of Tajuddin. He went before the Supreme Court. He went before the Court of Appeal asking for an anticipatory bail. He was refused. What did he do? He comes to the same court where the case was and he goes scot-free. So where are we heading for? I mean, we are not just accusing somebody or blaming anybody, but this was a job that was entrusted to the UNP.
Azath, can I say this? Don't you agree with me that political shamelessness is actually corrupting Sri Lanka?
Yeah, that is what I'm saying. Because if you see governments and parliamentarians worldwide, right, very honorably resigning and going. In Sri Lanka, we don't see that, no. Right? In Sri Lanka, we don't see that because they have a very big agenda with them. Now see, okay, leave all that aside. We promised good governance. What happened to the good governance? Malik Samaravikrama takes over. A friend of the Prime Minister from the same school, businessman, right? As Trisathanayaka mentioned, when the party is coming into crisis and when the party is getting defeated, he tenders his resignation and goes. Again, when the party is coming into power, he comes into it, becomes the chairman of the party, becomes the MP from that party, becomes a minister.
In your view, why is he doing that?
This is very, very essential for Mr. Wickremesinghe because to keep the party economically going. When the party did not have money to pay their light bills, water bills, then they wanted different other people from the UNP. Even as Tisha says, even a blank A4 sheet could not be found in Srilanka at that time. But then, after which these people come and they destroy. Now what is the expectation of the people is that what did he do? He was dealing with almost all the corrupt politicians who have been named to be arrested. He deals with them, not only deals with them, he even invites friends who are from the Rajapaksa regiment earlier, who were dealing with them internationally and locally, and says, don't worry, FCID, CID, I will look after, you come into the country, I will also invest you with this tire factory that was started. Right? all the other businesses that Rajapaksa was handling is now handled by none other than Malik Samaravikrama. So the UNPS are highly worried why this party is having deals with Mr. Rajapaksa and the family and not arresting anybody at this moment. That is the big question that the people have for us.
And one of our several questions already started coming through. 0772 300 305. Do send us a message with your questions. And one of them wants to know what is the reason Mr. Salley lost Colombo. And Mr. Salley was very vociferous supporting the UNF in 2015. And also, how many times has Mr. Salley changed parties? But forget that. What's the reason? Why did you lose? What is your analysis of that?
That's why I very quickly told you as I started. This is not a defeat for Salley or any individual in the UPFA. This defeat has come from the president's area onwards, down, right? That is why I very clearly told you that the UPFA as a whole has gained more votes than what it cost. Now if you take the SLPP, is another party of the SLFP because you have 54 MPs who are still UPFA members.
So what you're saying is if you add those two up.
If you add those two up, they have obtained, in Colombo itself, they have obtained 93,000 votes compared to what we got
and Rosie got
132,000 compared to 102,000 they got.
So
that is the increase
still,
of
yeah, but
the
she
voters.
still got a whopping 40,000 more.
Yeah, not 40,000, 30,000 more. 30,000, 102,000,
92,000, 130,000.
No, 102,000 to 132,000, 30,000 more.
30,000.
We have got about 26,000 more.
Right.
So that vote bank has increased. But here, these two parties.
What was that 30,000 difference?
That is the increase
Why
of votes
do you
after
think,
7
yes,
years.
but why do you think that, what was so special about Rosie's message that wasn't special in your message?
It was not. Now let me tell you why.
Yeah.
They spent over 300 million rupees
Yeah.
for the campaign, giving it to a private company, number one. Number two, every councillor was given money. I think at the last discussion, it was revealed that over 600 million rupees was spent on the candidates.
Right.
But UPFA did not spend any money on the campaign, did not spend any money on their candidates also. They never gave any money. They didn't have any money. They didn't have any money and no money was spent. So that you could have seen with the advertisements going, with the money that was spent.
How much did you spend on losing?
See, for us, all what I got was some paper advertisements only, and we got some TV advertisements.
How much it cost?
It was of no cost. I had some people who sponsored those things for me. Other than that, that's what I'm saying.
If you had won, would those people have expected a contract?
Not necessarily, because these are people who have been right throughout with me.
You mean they're backing the ideology?
No, it's not the question of ideology or anything like that, but since 97 that I was elected, they have been with me and they continue to support me. See, end of the day for us, what matters here is clean governance. All what we want is not to avoid contracts and get money out of anybody. This had been the UNP's practice. But in our case, we have always been very clean and nobody can point a finger and say that Azath was corrupt.
No, what you're suggesting is it official then, the way you're saying it, that the SLFP and the SLPP are one?
See, that you can see it even by this formation of a new government. When already 30-odd MPs have signed to give a letter to the president that they are going to form the government. UNP is also giving a letter to say there. But where is the numbers?
Yes, where are the numbers?
The numbers is 107 with the UNP, 96 with the UPFA.
Yeah.
With this 96, there are smaller parties that are in alliance with the UNP. But they say, you show the numbers, we'll come with you.
Right.
So, if you get those 10 or 12, the two parties that are aligned with the UNP, then the UPFA can form the council. But what I know is now, the last arrangement is that the UNP is willing to accommodate and to agree to the terms and conditions that the President has. And that is the latest information that we have. And they are trying to work out, because 164 councils cannot be run without the help of the UPFA.
Right. Now then, another question. Somebody is asking us, tell us what happened to Udanga Weeratunga, ex-ambassador, as our police team went and came back empty-handed. Well, okay. Various things are happening with Udanga Weeratunga, and the FCID obviously working at it, and we expect to have some more news about that maybe later today or tomorrow, but as soon as it happens, Newsfirst will be there to report
on question of Udanga Weeratunga. This guy was needed for a very long time. And up to today, the Sri Lankan government has not put him on red notice. Right? It is a blue notice that has been served on him. And when they gave it to the Interpol, he was stopped at the Dubai airport. Investigations were done. And only thing, he is a Ukraine citizen. And that country...
Let's leave that topic alone for a moment, because yet another viewer is asking us, your guest mentioned about the tyre factory, but do you think there will be anything done to investigate the dubious Volkswagen factory done by the people who are laundering black money, etc.? Well, our information is that some form of construction work is starting at the premises that have been allocated to the tyre factory. As for the Volkswagen factory,
still to come.
That's still to come. All I can say is that at the time when we did contact the Volkswagen AG people in Germany, they said that they had nothing to do with it, and that they had no plans to further expand their operations in this part of the world, bearing in mind, of course, that they have a big plant in India, and which has already exported over 1 million units, that's cars, to South America, which is one of the prime markets for that factory in India. So that's the reality. Now we have claims saying that the entire cabinet is illegal. Have you read about that?
No.
The former Chief Justice says that the President has power to appoint the Prime Minister, because he says that the 2-year period for the National Unity Government has now ceased. And so the President has the right.
See, for us, once the President asks the entire cabinet to resign, automatically the Prime Minister also goes. So there is no question that you have to get his permission to dissolve, or you have to get his permission to appoint. This is not necessary. This is the view of most of the legal personalities that I have met. What they say is, if they are not performed, as you say, the marriage is over, right? It's a new contract, and then the President can appoint somebody who can command the respect of Parliament.
That's right. Just one moment. We'll come back to that, Azath, if I may. There is a claim here from one of our viewers that our channel did not give, was given hardly any publicity on our channel. I'd like to put this on the record.
On what?
Rosie Senenaika.
She was asked to come, she never came.
We extended invitation to Ms. Senenaika many times, right here on this phone actually, messages that have been sent to her, and in between, of course, she broke her leg or damaged her leg, and then she was out of action for that. But several times our producers have been on the phone. Just like to put that record right, that we've been extremely balanced in our coverage and our invitations to everybody who was contesting.
Let me correct the viewers, because they have they think that no channel has invited, not only you, they think that no channel has invited. See, Rupavahini was the first channel to invite all the mayoral candidates, and we had a debate. Soon after that, she decided she is not going before any media for any debates, and then she never came. Several media organizations called her and wanted her to come for debates. She never participated in any of the debates, must be told to the viewers.
Indeed. Thank you for that. Now back to this business about, look, we have Netanyahu in Israel. We have the Ethiopian Prime Minister Haile Mariam Desalegn over there, and we had Jacob Zuma, the President of South Africa. All of them, in the case of President Zuma, he said it was his party, his compatriots, who wanted him to step off, and he was giving in to that. And Netanyahu was, of course, battling it away there. Amidst great calls, because there's great consternation there. And the Ethiopian Prime Minister has completely unexpectedly resigned anyway. Then we have the Prime Minister of Malaysia, who is under fire for up to $1 billion, that's with a B, billion dollars, $1,000 million more, has gone through his personal bank accounts. And he is now, so that's a bit of concern. So it looks like corruption and sleaze is all over the world.
Exactly.
But over here in this country, in spite of the best efforts of civil society, the media, and independent commissions of inquiry, like the Presidential Commission, for example, nothing of grave consequence. Today is the first day after the date given for Arjuna Mahendran to return to Sri Lanka to answer questions. Well, that ran out by midnight last night. As far as we know, he hasn't arrived. Now, what steps will be taken to bring this fellow back?
See, I mean,
very, very flippantly, they allowed him to travel. Was he allowed to travel because of his connections to the high office in this country?
Yes, of course. See, we saw, even when Vimal Veeravansa had 2 passports, 2 birth certificates, 2 identity cards, was travelling, the immigration stopped him. And said that you can't travel, you have done these documents. What happens? The Prime Minister calls the immigration and tells him, allows him to leave. Under the end. So where is justice? For us, can you go? Can you travel when you have a document like that?
No, listen, Azath. We have all these, there is a compelling reason why, Prime Minister Wickremesinghe must give evidence and open himself up for investigation in terms of the bond. It is because of his inaction. Until I'm blue in my face, I'll keep saying this. There was a departure from process. There was a system in place changed only by Mr. Ranil Wickremesinghe insisting, please look it up in the Oxford Dictionary, what that word means.
And also, for us, don't forget, this
Basically, there's enough of evidence to suggest, well, there's at least a case that he needs to answer about corruption. He knew about this. He must go. Why doesn't he go?
Not only knew about it, he took full responsibility for it. Because he is the person who spoke in Parliament when he was questioned. The assurance that he gave is about Arjuna Mahendran. He said, I only have installed him as a governor. I take full responsibility for that. After that, when this whole thing happened, he says, I am the person who insisted on Arjuna Mahendran to come up with this new system. Right? And I take responsibility. So he has openly told this Parliament that he is taking full responsibility. That is what you saw Pratibha Manama in his interview 3 days ago, is very clearly saying, when this case is taken up, they should not summon anybody other than the Prime Minister, because he was responsible for this. Not only being the Minister, but coming to Parliament and giving an assurance that I initiated this, it is my way of it. Because even Arjuna Mahendran had gone before the Commission and said, I did what the Prime Minister wanted. It's very clear. So I don't know. And I'm very, very surprised to see this country. When you speak about these things, speak the truth about things. Now if you take, now that you were accusing of Mahinda Rajapaksa and the family becoming the horrors in this country. Then you accuse him, every time at a platform you accuse the family as hora, 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 and you sing song also inside parliament, hora, hora, hora. So that fellow is saying Ranil hora, this fellow is saying Mahinda hora. Both sides keep saying hora, but no hora was caught. That is why the people went out to vote and gave this mandate, because you keep singing song and say hora, so we will make this hora a powerful personality again. This is what happened. This is what the people went and voted for us.
Another viewer is asking me whether the foreign minister and others should go to Singapore to bring back Mr. Mahendran.
See,
on a scale of 1 to 10, on a scale of 1 to 10, very quickly, on a scale of 1 to 10, tell me, what are the chances of Arjun Mahendran coming back to Sri Lanka in the next week?
Now, if Udayanga Veeratunga of another, being another citizen cannot be brought into Sri Lanka, even by keeping him in Dubai airport, Arjun Mahendran also cannot be brought because he is a Singapore citizen. So now I think you will have get the Interpol and all those things, and then only bring him down.
There's so much of insistence that we say what we have to say about Udayanga Veeratunga. But like I said earlier, we will report on that matter as and when it happens. But all we can say is that the authorities are working at his return. Azath Salley, it's been remarkable that you've able to come and chat to us. We value your openness, and we hope that you will not fade away from the political scene.
No, Faraz, I think this is from the day we concluded this election, I have come, this is the 6th or 7th program I have come. And everywhere I went, the public, the intellectuals who came for the debates have always told me it was a pleasure having me on board and also having me with them for this, to at least analyze the latest political scenario in this country. So, see, elections may come and go, win and lose is part of the game. I have to keep my head up and do my services towards the community. I will be doing that.
Thank you very much. And that's about it from Newsline today, Friday the 16th of February 2018. Take care and God bless.
Newsfirst, Newsline with Faraz Shaukat Ali.